everybody, welcome back to Off the Grid Tiny House. We're on day 16 of our 50-day challenge. If you want to learn more about that, check out our intro video. In our last episode, we installed the roof sheathing, insulation, drip edge, and underlayment. And in this episode, we're going to install the roof shingles. So I want to take a little bit to make sure you understand exactly how the shingles lock in. I think they're really cool, so I want to explain the product. You can see here, here's where the nail goes, up in the top right corner. And I'm going to flip it over, and when I do, you're going to be looking at the bottom and at this side. You can see how there's a fold on the bottom and a fold along the side. And those folds are going to lock into our drip edge. So here we have our eave drip edge. And you can see it's got a groove. And what will happen is this will lock right in there. And it can't move. We can't pull it this way. So it's really locked in. Same thing with our rake drip edge. It doesn't have a groove, but it does have this area here that pops out. And we can use that also to lock in that fold. And you see, we just can't pull it this direction at all. The aluminum shingles we'll be installing on the roof are just an excellent system, I think. And I think it's really neat how it all ties together and each shingle really locks in the other ones. So I wanted to kind of take a look at CAD here and kind of give you an idea of how it works, because when we're installing it, we'll definitely give a lot of video, but it's kind of hard to understand when you're looking at it. And I think I could explain it a little easier from the computer here. So here we have our first shingle. We're going to cut it in half first. We'll cut off the whole left side of the shingle over here so that all we have is the right side. And what you'll notice here is we're going to make a fold right here on the dotted line, and we're going to fold that under the drip edge. And this one, the shingle comes with a fold, so we don't need to make that fold. It's already there, but we will slide it under the drip edge. And then we'll put a nail in the top corner here. What you'll see is that the shingle can't rotate because the nail gives it like a hinge point, right? But if it tries to rotate down here, it can't, because the fold here prevents it. It catches on the drip edge. And if it tries to go this way, same thing, the drip edge kind of catches it and holds it. So it's really locked in place right there. When we install the second shingle, we're just going to set it right next to it. And it's going to fold in and lock in to this first shingle on this edge. And again, it'll slide under the drip edge right here. And then we'll put a nail right here. So again, you can see how it's locked in with this nail. It can't move because it's folded in to this edge here, and it can't move this way because it's folded in this edge here. So just the same as that first shingle, it's really locked in. The next one we'll install right above that first, and you can see this one is a full length shingle. We'll do the same thing. We'll make a fold here and we'll lock it under the drip edge, and then it will slide into a fold on these shingles. And then after that, it's really easy. We just kind of start laying them out. Boom, 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 boom. And we just keep working our way up like that. Let's take a quick overview of what we hope to accomplish today. We will be installing the aluminum shingles to the roof of the tiny house, starting at one of the lower left corners. Each shingle we install will lock into a previously installed piece of the roof on its bottom and left sides, and will receive a nail on the top right corner. After both slopes of the roof are shingled, there are special ridge shingles that go across the top of the roof at the ridge. As I mentioned, each shingle we install will lock into a previously installed piece of the roof on its bottom and left sides, and will receive a nail on the top right corner. The two pieces that the first shingle locks into are the rake drip edge and eave drip edge. Additionally, we cut this first shingle in half, so we get a staggering effect to the shingling. The two pieces that the second shingle locks into are the eave drip edge and the right side of the first shingle we just installed. The two pieces that the third shingle locks into are the rake drip edge and the top of the first shingle we installed. We continue in this fashion until we get to the ridge of the roof. Most of the time, the top shingle at the ridge needs to get trimmed to fit, but on our tiny house roof, it worked out perfect and the top shingle didn't need to get trimmed back. When we get to the rake drip edge at the opposite side of the roof, we make a mark on the end shingle for the end of the roof and trim the shingle back about a ½ inch past this mark. We then lock the shingle into place and fold the excess underneath the rake drip edge, locking the other side into place. Hey guys, I spend my time and money making these videos for you because I want to give you the confidence and knowledge for you to build your own tiny house. In return, I'd really appreciate it if you could pause this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and visit our Patreon page. Your support ensures that you'll see more awesome videos like this one. If you do start building your own tiny house, you can use the links in the description below to purchase your tools and supplies, and that also helps out the channel. All that's left now is to toss the ridge caps on. So to get started, we're just going to cut a little slit here. And that'll allow us to fold it under. For the ridge shingles, we cut a triangle into the first one and fold the ends under the rake drip edge. I just want to center it. Then we put a nail into each side of the other end of the shingle. The next ridge shingle slides into the previous one, covering up the nails. For the last ridge shingle, we trim it to fit with a little excess. This allows us to slide one end into the previous ridge shingle and fold the other end around the rake drip edge. And then just like the other side, just make our little triangle. Every episode I want to take some time to talk about mistakes I made, and I had to laugh at the mistake I made on this episode because this is the 4th time I've installed these aluminum shingles. And every time I've watched the installation videos, read the manual before installing it, and this time I figured, I've done it 3 times already, I don't need to do that. And wouldn't you know it, I installed it wrong. I forgot the very first step, which was to cut the first shingle in half. So what ended up happening is I realized my mistake about 1/3 of the way through the roof, and you can't really take them off because, as you saw in our last episode, we have an underlayment and you don't want a bunch of nail holes in that. So I had to kind of keep things going, which is fine. I mean, it's waterproof, it works. It's just aesthetically, it doesn't have that nice staggered look that it usually does. You can notice it, it's very subtle. Most people probably won't notice it, but it's just I had to laugh at it, and it's a good reminder to always watch the installation videos and make sure you know exactly what you're doing. Don't just improvise. In our next episode, we'll be completing the framing details of the tiny house. This includes a bump out on either end of the house and 2 interior walls that will form a private bathroom in the middle of the tiny house. I hope you can all join me on our next episode as I complete the framing details.